What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. I'm the Carolina Joker, and this is the John Rhys Plumlee 5th year season career mode, where we played his baseball season, and now we're here in football season, and we are 8 games into this 12-game season. So we're about 3 episodes left in the series. We have this one, which we will be playing Kansas State today, as well as we will be playing against Texas. So those will be very good games as well. And then next game, we will play our final 2 regular season games, and then we will hopefully make it to the Big 12 championship and our bowl game / national championship if we make it. To recap everything up to this point so far, we really had commanding wins all season, I would say. But as you saw from last video, we struggled very early against Iowa State. Iowa State's defense played absolutely fantastic and gave us a really hard game to win there, especially at Iowa State, and they're only a 3-5 team. So, going into the final couple games of the season, we will be playing Kansas State today, as well as at Texas, which that game I'm actually a little bit of terrified for, because I think Texas is like a 98 overall defense or something like that. Even though they're 4-5, I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like an Iowa State-esque game. So it's going to be very good and very, high intensity, and like we got to be like on our A game. In the next episode, we will place Cincinnati in our last Big 12 game of the season. And then we will play the war on I-4 versus our rivals USF. So there's going to be that game. That game's going to be fun. Night game as well, especially over in Florida here. Looking here at the top 25 polls, there's a couple of teams that are undefeated, and that's ourselves, USC number 2, and Ohio State at number 1. So that's very interesting to see that. Michigan is also right there. We got Utah, who made a big jump from 11 to 5. Baylor made a big jump from 14 to 6. So we potentially could face Baylor in the Big 12 championship game if it comes down to it. Because as you saw from last episode, it looked like we were going to be facing TCU. But TCU lost last week by 2 points to Baylor. So Baylor jumped up to 6. And they have a pretty decent team, 4-star prestige, 85 overall defense. So that's going to be a good game no matter what. Just looking down here, Oregon, Arkansas, Miami, Oklahoma, Georgia, Mississippi State, Michigan State, Texas Tech, Alabama, Notre Dame, Auburn, Air Force, Wisconsin, and Oregon State, and Iowa. So, we have a couple of good opponents and stuff here still, but yeah, it looks like if we win out and Baylor wins out, we will be facing Baylor in the Big 12 championship game, which that will actually be a very interesting game. So looking here at our division standings, we are in first place over here. Kansas, who only has 1 conference loss, so they still could potentially, if we lose a couple games, they could still potentially jump us and take over. However, in our division, we are 4-0. So we got to play Cincinnati still and Kansas State. So, we're going to have 2 more games in our division, and then we're going to hopefully, I think if we win one of them, we're guaranteed to go through. So that's fine as is. Looking over here, like I said, so TCU currently is on top of Baylor, even though Baylor beat them. But their conference record, TCU technically has 1 more win. So I feel like Baylor will jump them over that. As you see here, Texas is at the bottom of the division, but they have a 92 overall defense. So they're going to be a very good team. I don't care what their record says. And looking overall, we are sitting at number 1 in the Big 12. And TCU's there, Kansas, and then Baylor. That's the top 4. So it could be, it's our season to give up and lose away. And looking here at the Heisman list, we are sitting at number 1 on the Heisman table. Still, I think last episode I know that we were there, so we're the number 1 Heisman front runner. We got a Bama running back. Caleb Williams makes a comeback to get back into the list. TCU's quarterback is also here, so that's very interesting because we could potentially match up against them. And then we have Michigan's running back here. So without further ado, no more talking. We're going to go ahead and hop into this game versus Kansas State, and this is going to be a good one. All right, here we are in beautiful Orlando, Florida versus Kansas State. First play of the game. Let's see what we can do. Dropping back. Scrambling out wide to the right. Can we find a man open right there on the outside? We can. Yes, it's Griffin with a great 23-yard reception to get us the first down. What a way to start this first game. 1st and 10 here now. What can we do? Plumlee drops back. Throws a little route to Davis. Davis gets forward and gets about 8 yards on the play. 1st and 10, read option. Plumlee takes off himself, gets a block, gets to the outside, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown Knights. John Rhys Plumlee with a great touchdown run. Defense comes up big and prevents Kansas State from scoring. Plumlee rolls out again, takes off himself, gets down the sideline, gets shoved out around the 47-yard line. 2nd and inches here. Read option, Plumlee keeps it himself. Got a good block, slides down to avoid the big hit around the 26-yard line. Nothing happened there on that drive, so we punted the ball away. Johnson, the good reception across the middle for 5 yards. Plumlee here drops back. Does he have a man open? It's Hudson, the great reception who gets up the sideline for a first down. Plumlee drops back, has a man, and it's intercepted by Kansas State. What a mistake from Plumlee. Here after Kansas State scores, Plumlee takes the ball himself to the outside. Can he get down? He steps out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Here we are, drops back, throws a dot to Baker. Baker shakes off a tackler, gets a block, and it's off to the races. The 10, the 5, touchdown Knights. Go just calling 4 verticals here. Throws it up to Baker, and Baker drops it. 2nd and 10 here. Plumlee sets up himself, slides to avoid a hit. 3rd and inches, clock is still running. 3 timeouts left. What can they do? There's a dot over the middle to Griffin. Griffin with a great reception. 15 seconds here. What does Plumlee see? He sees a man open. It's Griffin! And Griffin gets another touchdown on the day. What a play from Griffin. Here in the 3rd quarter now, Plumlee rolls out to his right. Takes off himself, gets the first down, steps out of bounds. The 3rd and 1 here facing. Plumlee tries to find someone open. Can't find anybody. Throws it into coverage, but Griffin makes an absolute amazing catch. What a dot from Plumlee as well. Plumlee drops back here. Finds Hudson across the middle for another first down. Getting closer to the red zone here. Plumlee takes off himself, gets into the red zone, gets down inside the 10 for a good 1st and goal. And after a few sacks, we get another touchdown. Let's go, Knights. And as you see here, Plumlee does get hurt and is out for the rest of the game. All right, looking at our stats here, as you can see, we went 13 for 19 for 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, 68% completion percentage. Our 2nd-string quarterback who came in for us whenever we were hurt went 6 for 7 for 82 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. That's really impressive from him. In rushing, we had 124 yards on 13 attempts with 1 touchdown, which was at the very beginning of the game. So, now let's head into our next game versus a very good Texas Longhorn team. Here we are in Austin, Texas versus a very talented, unranked Texas Longhorn team. First play of the game, we give it to Bowman, and Bowman goes nowhere. Gets met at the line. 2nd and 10 here. Plumlee drops back. Throws a dot out to Baker, and Baker makes a great catch. 3rd and 10 here. Can they find anybody? It's Griffin across the middle, who gets the first down after 14 yards. Dropping back. Throws it over to Hudson. Hudson with a great catch. Gets about 13 yards on that reception. A 3rd and 6 here. What can they do? It's getting loud here in Texas. Plumlee drops back. Finds his man Hudson across on the side, who gets down into the red zone. 3rd and 4. Can we find somebody? Plumlee takes a sack. We go down and get a field goal. Next drive. Throws it to Griffin. Griffin with a great catch. 1st and 10. A 2nd and 3 here. Now we got a man in motion with Hudson. We're gonna hold it ourselves. We're gonna run up the field. We got a great block. Oh, almost had another block, but we got 16 yards on that rush. Dropping back. What can we find here? We find Davis across the outside, across the field throw for 20 yards on a read option here. What can we do? We got a good block. And we get tackled down at the 2-yard line. We hand this one off to Harvey, who gets into the end zone to give us a 10-0 lead. Texas goes down the field and scores, makes it a 10-7 game. Here in the 2nd quarter, it's a big 3rd and 3. Dropping back. Can we find anybody? We scramble out wide. Takes off ourselves, slides down to get the 1st down. 2nd and 10 here now. Can we find anybody? We find Hudson across the middle, who gets up the field for a 25-yard reception. 3rd and 9 here. Can we find anybody open? We find Hudson, who gets caught behind the line. We send on the field goal unit team. It's now 13. It's 14-13 now. Texas did score. Townsend with a great reception. 19 seconds left to go in this 1st half. What can we do here? We're dropping back. Plumlee, can you find anybody? Finds Davis across the middle. Here we go. 1st and 10. 9 seconds left. He's got a man open. It's Hudson, who makes a great reception, calls a timeout, and we get the PAT. 16-14 game here now. 3rd with a great reception on 3rd down. Now it's 2nd and 10 here. What can they do? Drops back. Can he find anybody open? Scrambles out wide. Tries to throw a long bomb, and it's intercepted by Texas. A turnover on the day for Plumlee. Here we are, 17-16 game. Bowman runs up the middle, gets hit hard. 2nd and 7 here. What can they do? It's got a man across the middle. That is Johnson, who gets a 1st down after 13 yards. 1st and 10 here. What can Plumlee and the Knights do? They're down by 1. Drops back. Has a man across the middle. That's Townsend. Townsend gets down and gets a 1st down after 22-yard reception. Drops back. Does he have anybody? He gets sacked behind the line. 5-yard sack. 2nd and 15 coming up here now. What's going to happen? What can we do? Scramble out wide. We have a man, Hudson. Hudson, the great reception, down to a 3rd and 1. A crucial 3rd and 1 right here as well, as we are closing in onto the 4th quarter. See, we got anybody open? We do. Hudson right there. We're down inside the red zone after an 8-yard reception. Plumlee in the backfield by himself, 5 wide. What can he do? Drops back. Has a man open. That's Baker. Baker with the great reception to set up a 1st and goal. Bowman in the backfield with Plumlee. Plumlee drops back. Scrambles out wide. Sees space. Takes off himself. And dives into the end zone for a touchdown. UCF takes the lead back, but they're going for 2. They're going for 2. What can we do here? Got a man open. Boom. What a catch. We got a 7-point ball game right here. Defense comes up big, holds Texas without scoring. A touchdown on this drive for the Knights will be very crucial. Baker with a great 17-yard reception. What can they do here? Clock management is going to also be key in this quarter. Showing a little bit of blitz. Has a man open. That's Davis. Davis gets met at half field. 1st and 10. 5 minutes exactly on the clock. Plumlee drops back. Finds Griffin. Griffin gets a 1st down. Stays in bounds. Clock will keep rolling. 1st and 10 here after that reception. What can we have? We have Griffin. Griffin gets down to the 30 after a 7-yard reception. 1st and 10 here. Plumlee drops back. They got shown a little bit of blitz. Baker drops his shoulder and gets down within the 5-yard line. Quarterback keeper here. Plumlee fakes a handoff, runs up the middle, and gets into the end zone for another Knight touchdown. All right, we're sitting here, 31-17, almost 2 minutes left in the game. Plumlee makes a move up the middle, gets hit hard after an 11-yard rush. What can Plumlee find? Drops back. Slot up the middle. Touchdown Knights. Let's go. 37. So it's 38-24, and that's going to be the ball game. And after that big win against a very talented Texas team, we went 24 for 34 with 361 passing yards with 1 passing touchdown and 1 interception, 70% completion percentage. And rushing, we didn't have a good rushing day. We went 17 attempts for 75 yards, but we did have 2 touchdowns. And after those 2 great performances from the UCF Knights, we are still sitting here at number 3 ranked in the country as we are going into our final 2 games of the regular season. One against Cincinnati, one against USF in our rival game. But guys, we'll see that next episode. And if you like this episode and you like this series, make sure you go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're new. Turn those post notifications on and go ahead and comment on the video what you want me to see do next. Guys, I'm the Carolina Joker, and until next time, stay laughing.